Welcome back. Welcome back. First weekend without football. First weekend in which we didn't jam drafts in the morning, sit in front of the TV all day on Sunday. I smelt the roses. I went to a vineyard. I promised the significant other that I would do no drafts whatsoever, and it fucking sucked. It was awful. Bring back drafting. I will never go another day without drafting, no matter what does. I will never, ever.
I'm gonna miss NFL season in a very, very big way. It was a lot of fun this season, and not having anything to draft and nothing to sweat on Sunday was awful. So, we don't. I might actually do some sit and goes just to like scratch the itch before the Super Bowl, but I'm definitely gonna have the most pick'em volume I've ever had for an NFL Sunday for the Super Bowl. So I'm excited for our show with Pete to build some of those. Yeah, it felt weird. It felt weird, but we've got just an onslaught of NBA to draft thanks to Hope and maybe Neumy. We're not sure, but definitely Hope.
Yeah, heaps contest to draft. That's actually a good starting point. We're going to take a look at the hashtag sheet, the John Boy Beats sheet, not the sheet in which we do the definitive rankings, the one in which actually has a little bit of math involved there. And one thing that I just said to you is like, man, I got to up my volume in these side contests because, in my mind, I was like, oh, yeah, Sam Olsen, obviously, GOAT status, Mount Rushmore guy. But I was like, man, I haven't seen him take down a main in a minute. Hadn't seen him at the top there. And here I thought, I had a couple top 20s over the weekend. I was in first in the main for, with like 5 minutes left in the slate twice this weekend. And I was like, man, I'm gonna move up on the sheet and this sort of thing. Absolutely not, because these other guys that are way smarter than me are just crushing the dunks after darks, and I'm just not in there. I got to get in here, man, and start fighting for my food on the sheet.
Man, the dunks after darks are they're tough. They're tough because you get guys in there because there's no ADP, and you get guys in there that just it's very much first or last, and it's kind of hard to squeeze your way in there unless you also take a very exploitative stance. Like I would love to see the exposures of some of these guys that just it's an absolute train on the leaderboards in the dads. I love talking about trains and dads, in segments here. We've been really spicy lately, man. I don't know what it is, but
by accident.
The leaderboards will seriously just be like peppered, like who nailed the rotation, who nailed the guy, who got KCP right tonight, and then it's like, there you go. It's definitely tough. I play it just because I think it's fun, and I'm like way more in tune with some of these West Coast teams' rotations now than I am with other teams' rotations because you have to know who's playing for who in certain West Coast games.
Hey, speaking of which, your guy Chris Murray started the other night.
Yeah, how about it, man? His headshot looks like Keegan's, but with a Photoshop jersey. It's crazy. I mean, I will never. I refuse to like be unamazed by identical twins looking alike. I understand that this is a very normal phenomenon, but it is crazy.
Love it. Let's dive into the sheet here. Take a look. I'm dead serious about yesterday. I mean, I'm not going to say it was an awful day because I had a really nice date day and whatever, but making the agreement that I would draft nothing and put my phone away for the day was a terrible. I will never make that agreement ever again there, Nez. Lots of GMs in the chats, lots of shout outs here. Dale received his BadgeBros hoodie. Love to see it.
Let's go.
Yeah, just a reminder to everyone, there's a link somewhere in the bio below that we do have a merch store affiliated with the Deposit Kingdom. They're really reasonable and really comfy stuff there. I will say, size up one, though, I think. That's my...
The hoodies, definitely want to size up on the hoodies. The hoodies...
Maybe I'm getting a little beefy, but,
Nah, the hoodies, yeah, you want to size up on the hoodies for sure. I love the t-shirts. The t-shirts have held up really well. True to size in my experience for the t-shirts. I use my hoodie to work out in, which is like kind of fun. I don't mind sweating in it now. But
double sweat. Double sweat equity.
Double sweat. Sweating while we're sweating with a little extra sweat.
Love it. When puck Blake, the All-Star game, just I mean, there's only 2 games tonight. We'll get some puck going in the future here. Mike Zakarian, we're going to talk about him. He is flying up little sheet leaderboards. There, love to see it. We had Cheeseball in here. All right, Corey, I see you in the lobbies, man. Didn't know you remember. Love to see it. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, Dogman Chill saying that there's a little eliminator now. Just keep dropping contests. Love to see it.
Yeah, Neumies and Hope are just firing away. It's you love to see it. Truly, little eliminator is $5 to enter, 5K to first, 50K prizes. So that typical structure that we know and love with the the crazy advancements. I'm not going to go through the little eliminator advancements, but 155 seat final there as opposed to the big eliminator with an 18 seat final. So you really got to scratch and claw your way to take down that one, but it's gonna be super fun.
Cool. I'm gonna bring up this sheet. Shout out to our guy John Boy Beats putting this together all the time. Bring this up, and as alluded to earlier, we see Sam Olsen find his way to the top here.
Dude,
magical.
Wait, hold on 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
I'm sorry. We can't like. We have to talk about Sam Olsen just for a second, man.
Okay.
If you look at the column N, points per top 20. This dude.
Total points per top 20. Okay. Yep.
You see how it's not shaded dark? The dark shades indicate that your rank is the darker the shade, the more your rank is because you shipped first.
Right.
This dude is due to ship, and he's at top of the leaderboard with all these 90 top 20s, 56K in winnings, and he is due to ship. Like, that is unbelievable. Unbelievable what he's doing in hoops.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I didn't even think about it like that. Big shouts there. I mean, he's got 93 top 20 finishes, and he's still due to be doing better in said finishes.
It's crazy. Like, I wouldn't even be mad. Like, yeah, you're due, but like, don't tweak anything. Don't whatever you're doing. Just keep doing it, Sam, and maybe tell me what you're doing, but keep doing it.
There's a couple other names up here that we're seeing a big crossover between the PGA streets and the hoop streets right now. In Inthrius, JT McKenzie and JPB 2014. I just found that interesting because we've talked about like the parallels between football being similar to baseball and basketball being similar to PGA, and seeing it manifest itself on this board is pretty crazy.
A lot of good players, man. A lot of good players, and like everybody can just do it all, which is like really impressive. That it seems like the best players are multi-sport athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Magikarp, took down the 10K on Friday night ? In the Discord there. I saw a screenshot of it.
Yeah, I think it was Friday because it was a 10K boy. So shout out to Magikarp. What an amazing season he's had too. This is his first year playing hoops like consistently too, which is
really good baseball player. Really good baseball player. Shout out to Crutches. Crutches up here in the third slot there, just consistent as ever, regardless of sport. But nobody runs worse. Nobody runs worse than
we all know. Man. I hope
worse.
I hope this dude can catch a break. Yeah, I gotta feel bad for Crutches.
Oh man, I love it. Alluded to early there. I don't want to skim across all names and stuff like that because there are tons of sharp players in here. But I alluded to earlier that the rank delta, the rising category of Mike Zakarian rising 12 spots there in recent memory. So good shouts there that a hoops guy proving himself to be a hoops guy.
Yeah, I mean, these last 2 weeks for Mike have just been like insane. I swear every contest that I'm in, he's in like the top 20 lately. I mean, 17 top 20 finishes in the last 2 weeks. I mean, it bodes. It holds up. I mean, I think he is the best finisher in the last 2 weeks, other than Magikarp, who took down a 10K. So I mean, a lot of shots on goal, and he's due for a bank himself. If you're just looking at the shade model in column N there. So shout out Mike, man. This you love to see it, man. You love to see ball knowers get home as opposed to us robots out here just peppering away.
Love to see it. Nez, you find yourself in the 19 spot there, right behind
15, sir. 15, sir. That's
Oh,
not
19 on the number, 15 over here. Sorry. Yeah. The
I'm
15
top
spot
15.
there. Yeah, you're hovering. You're hovering right now. You haven't done anything crazy in recent memory, but you're
Mm-mm.
hovering consistent.
My last 2 weeks have noticeably been down. My accounting sheet will absolutely attest to that. But had a couple good nights though. But yeah, we got to get back. We got to get back. This has been a down 2 weeks for us, and yeah, I think we'll get back. I'm feeling a little more back on track for these next 2 weeks. But as you can see, definitely nothing to write home about, and lost a spot to Gut P, which hurts.
Love it. I've heard rumors here that T-Box is an absolute threat in the streets recently because quitting the darts has made him focus more on his prep, his efforts, the building of his own model. I heard he's laser focused now with this new fitness regime and the quitting of smoking. So he's due, man. He's due. He's coming, huh?
Yeah, that fixation's got to go somewhere, So I mean, you don't want to. T-Box is waking up pissed off every day. Hopefully, not as less and less pissed off every day. But he's coming up. He's coming up. You got to watch out because when a T-Box day hits, it hits in a big way. So you got to watch out. He's coming.
There's some good context in the sheet here, or sorry, in the chat about the sheet. Mike Zakarian saying upped his volume quite a bit over the last month or so. That's what I got to start doing. Neumy staring me to draft 5 different contests. That's my football mo. My hoops mo is I get my 80 to 100 in the main every night. That's my effort there. This is an interesting context. Brad, we see Brad up there just ahead of Nick T-Box right beside you there. He's a hand build bro. So score 1 for the hand builders to be up in the top 16 there. Hand builder bro in the top 20. Love to see that. Not all you push the plane nerds.
Yeah, Brad's a legend. Shout out Brad Dub.
Love it. Seen some dude. I've been noticing this Christian 1218 name quite a bit recently, and a couple nights there where maybe not duping himself, but like 3 lineups that look awfully close and are completely directional accurate, and finishes 7-8-9 with them or something. Like there's a little scoop of a leaderboard in Christian's future, but I hadn't noticed him prior to this year very much, but has really jumped on the scene.
Yeah, I was honestly not very familiar with Christian either. If you're in the chat, say what's up, defend yourself a little bit. But usually when you see lineups get duplicated over and over, typically means they're a big time projection bro. So, you see it, the ebbs and flows of these slates, depending on how 1-to-1 they are at the end results to where the projections were, and if you could see the results kind of bear out who is who's following what. It's kind of fun to dissect.
Love it. Couple more I want to hit on here, Nez. We these are the usual suspects. We don't have to have conversations about every player, but just seeing fully loaded Rydock, all day Ray, Shimmy up here, these are the usual suspects. We see them across multiple sports doing their thing all the time. Lit up in that category as well. Glue Eater for sure. But we got to talk about AWE 419, who we talked about last week. Ship the chip check, ship the main, and then ship the crossover. 1, 2, 3 nights in a row there, coming out of nowhere, jumping 31 spots on this. And looking at your shade indicator, I was expecting to see this one on the far side, Nez, as like a 3 or a 4 or something astronomical. Maybe he's just playing catch up and we weren't paying enough attention earlier.
Highlight that. Can you just click on that N33 cell? I just want to see what it's looking at. So it's looking at L33 divided by M33. So that is total points. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. So that's just looking at total points in top 20s. I wonder if this can be skewed, because I mean, dude, when you do nothing but ship 3 side contests, Maybe I'm kind of curious why that isn't
Yeah.
that isn't darker. That's a good point.
Yeah, very interesting.
But anyway, shout out to him because I mean, goddamn, that was a hell of a run. I mean,
Hell of a run, man.
yeah, that's hard to do.
Tons of other Discord members all filling this out here. We got the Flaccid Waffle, aka the Wood. Oh man, we got all these Jeeper Gumbies always hanging out. Ben Roethlisberger, same thing. Love to see it, man.
It's so funny that dude's name is Ben Roethlisberger. It just cracks me up. Like that is just that is amazing.
Oh man. Yeah. Any other Najee? We had Najee on the show who basically had never played fantasy football in his whole effing life, and then found his way to Underdog and is doing work right now.
Yeah, I don't know if Najee had like a busy work season like prior to these last 2 weeks, but I've seen him like in all my contests lately, and especially in hoops lately. So he's really putting in work, and you can see the results bear out there, making a high rise up the leaderboard, and copper prices too. Can't leave out Connor. Connor's having had himself a bit of a run there as well. I've seen him kind of up the volume with football being phased out. I think that's kind of the catalyst to these people playing more basketball is the football kind of subsiding.
Love it. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully that carries over into the baseball streets as well here. Now that people got the itch for the routine that is drafting every day. Here's your dusty old boy here, Nez, down one spot, just pathetic. He's gonna keep trying.
Good, as you should, man. Just keep you've been so close, man. These last 2 weeks, like you've upped the volume. And you've had some really close shots on goal. You've got a bank coming your way, man. You just got to keep firing. It's all about like staying alive. Yeah, like yeah. These swings are tough, but you just got to keep staying alive.
The hottest player on planet Earth right now, Ducky 601, doing it low volume and getting it done every damn night by the looks of it. Shipped back-to-back main slates. Just a shout out to Ducky, true legendary performance in recent memory here.
Holy shit, man, that is wild. Shout out Ducky. Hey, that is amazing. Anybody can do it.
In the same mold, shout out to E White, who was posting in the Discord there, took down the first ever dunking after dark heat check.
Yeah,
and took down the Texas wedge in the same day.
Yeah,
so
how about that?
Multi-sport athlete, love to see it.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's dope.
Yeah, and we can't give Dean any praise because with these sharp guys from the redacted streets are finding their way over, and they're slowly going to start pushing me down the board here, Nez. So I can't be giving it too much praise to Dean after his shift the other night.
Yeah, no, can't do that.
Anything else you want to hit on before we jump into today's slate? I mean, I love that. Obviously, shout out John Boy Beats for putting this all together. I love that we have something like this. I love a way that we can all celebrate the community together. I'm really interested to see how far we can go with this across multiple sports, some form of integration into the platform, stuff like that. I don't know what that's going to look like or how that could look, but I really hope we get something like that in the future because it's a really fun exercise.
Yeah, no, it is. Nothing else to add other than, shout out John Boy Beats, of course, for doing this. This is so much fun to track. And, it's really, added such a fun element to this season. And I might need to slide in his DMs and figure out how I can replicate this for baseball, because this is just way too awesome to not, continue in other sports.
Love it. Well, hopefully John Boy Beats finds his way to the baseball streets, and then it just happens organically like that.
Yeah.
There's a couple of obvious names right here. We kind of just glossed over like 10 through 13. Obviously, these players deserve all the praise in the world. Cowboys night after night is there. Bretta James, Andy, B Burgundy, there night after night, always grinding, always putting in the work. Love to see that their results and what we thought for years was like, hey, these are really quality players on the site. Well, now we can quantify that, and I love that for them. But you'll note that I did not say two redacted names there, Nez. Jazar and RT99. Push the fucking plane one time. Come on, guys. We're older than this. We're more mature. The games have evolved enough. Everybody else is doing it. Please, please, guys. I plead, push the plane. Hashtag push the plane. The movement for your fellow drafters.
I know I've been guilty of not pushing the plane, but I think I can excuse myself because at least half of my drafts have the plane pushed. And when I'm not pushing the plane, it's typically because I'm jamming so hard prior to lock. And I hope that that can be forgiven. But man, if you're never pushing the plane ever in your life, like that is your brand, you can eat something. But I'm not gonna specify what. But push the goddamn plane.
You don't even know Carlos has got it. Push the
fucking 747. And somebody can design. We need a good design for a push the plane logo for a t-shirt. If anybody has some sketches or anything, like we would love to steal that and put it to merch put it to use for merch.
Or also just for emotes in the chat. I'll put something out there. I think there's a couple things that we really need that I was going to pay people on Fiverr to make for us. But if there's anyone in the community that has the skills to do it or whatever, we need a push the plane emote. We need a scroll the F down emote. We need a Nez hedge emote. And preferably those would be like in like high res, and then I would drop them down to like emote status. And then we need an intro, man. We got so many clips from back in the day. We got so much content out there. We got so many, I don't want to say iconic because, we're not on that level yet, but we got so many good, like clickbaity, catchable things that we've never all just pieced together. A 30-second intro, that would be the GOAT. I'll pay somebody to do that if someone has the skills to do that. Hit me up, slide the DMs, whatever, because I think that'd be really cool for us to have like a little intro segment, like what Pete has for his shows and stuff. Anyways,
it would be dope. It would be dope. We are looking at how many streams have we done? Like
I'd venture to guess we've done over 200 live streams now. I think we've probably done 250, 300, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot, but just go look at the good stuff. Easy.
That's easy. There's never been a good episode. Let's move on.
There's over 250. Holy shit.
Wow, man. That's crazy. Crazy to think. Appreciate you guys all being here for those 200 and somewhat episodes. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, that follow, that notification so we can keep coming back. Please and thank you. Nezzy, we got a 6-game slate here. We got some Q tags that were taken care of early for us, which is good, I guess. I don't know, depending on your stance on whether you wanted LaMelo Ball to play or not. I didn't think he was going to play at any given avenue. I was kind of surprised that Luka was going to play tonight. They got a TNT nationally televised game tomorrow night, but the Mavs are low-key just running out of bodies. And I think there's a little bit of glimmer and window of hope that the door has been opened for the MVP race for Luka, that I think, these Qs might be turned into Ps a little bit more frequently in the future. But I thought with the nationally televised game tomorrow, and I mean, this kind of means nothing other because you're still taking Luka 101 every single time on this slate. But I was pushing up Kyrie a bit because I thought even though he was just coming back and they're, I don't think there's going to be a minutes restriction because he has been playing basketball on like the side and stuff like that. Like I think he was going to just ape into big minutes. That just a long-winded way of saying I was pushing up Kyrie in anticipation of this happening. Now I'm not, I might be overexposed to Kyrie because of it. But I think that's just kind of like the macro of the slate. What else is tickling your fancy, Nez?
I find this slate pretty interesting because I really like the first 5 rounds, which I mean, whatever, no shit. Like it's the first 5 rounds, but the 6th round, I don't think has a lot of depth. And we typically have, a lot of options and, we're kind of like worried about who is going to break the slate for us. My 6th round is going to be incredibly, incredibly shallow today. I can already tell. That will kind of depend on whether or not Tobias Harris plays or not, because then Oubre gets like way way more of a bump for me and become 6th round considerate. But otherwise, man, the 6th round for me is like way shallow and way more shallow than it usually is, especially for a Monday when that's typically a pretty good day for basketball. But I guess today is how many games are today?
Six.
Okay, so that kind of checks out. But yeah, I find the 6th round to be really shallow.
Interesting. We are on complete opposite sides of the fence on that.
You got a lot of options in the 6th.
I see a lot of guys that I like in the 6th that like I've kind of drawn a line in the sand after Paul George, and then I'm really comfortable mixing and matching a lot of guys at the back because I can spin zone a lot of players at the back to be intriguing.
Are you let me just ask you about one that you can barely see here. Are you gonna let yourself get tricked by Paul Reed today?
Yeah, for sure. I'm totally fine with Paul Reed. I think it's a really good spot. His minutes were down last game because he had an undisclosed illness. Like, let me just say this on the record for everyone. Fuck the Sixers forever because they are the worst at reporting injuries. And there's a reason they're the most penalized and fined team in terms of reporting injuries. They hold stuff till like super late and whatever. Paul Reed was sick last game. And then the game was, an absolute blowout. And they were just like, don't play. And they never listed him on the illness. They're probably going to get fined in, a couple days here to get back to that. So I think him and Mo Bamba are much closer in terms of splitting minutes than like the perception the field has. But I will say that like I wouldn't look at last game and be like, oh, he only played 15 minutes. Like he was like the comments after the game were like he was gutting out an illness, and then once the game was out of reach, we just kind of shelved him. So I'm willing to go back to the well for Paul Reed today, especially if Tobias doesn't play.
I hate the Sixers so much. that fucked me so hard, man. I had so much Paul Reed that game. That sucked. That fucking sucked.
Yeah, it was unfortunate circumstance because I mean you were on Kelly Oubre pretty good on that slate as well. So that game just got blown out early and then they just kind of shut it down. I don't know, it was weird.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some other ones we can get to here. Like the Evan Mobley one's interesting because like, hey, does he still have the minutes limit? Well, I don't know. They let him get up to 24 last game, I think. 23 and a bit, 24. Still put up 44. Like
2 fantasy points per minute, just an absolute monster.
Wild, right? And then if you factor in tonight that hey, maybe Jared Allen doesn't go. I think Jared Allen plays for the record. But if Jared Allen doesn't go and Darius Garland doesn't play, do they all of a sudden go, okay, Mobley's back. Let's push that, minutes restriction a little bit further. And he becomes a screaming 6th round value. I don't know. I think he has break the slate ceiling. You could make the same case for Joe Val, who goes undrafted at some frequency. Like he could break the slate if you get no Zion and no Larry Nance. You just need it to like break that way. Okongwu is going to play 35 minutes. They have nobody else to play. I mean, maybe Sadiq Bey and Hunter play, but I can brain my way into that. Pods is going to start tonight because there's no Wiggins. So, like, I like that. Oubre and Reed, we already went bull case for. Malik Monk's minutes are back at the expense.
Yeah, what the hell's going on with these Kings, man?
Yeah, they're willing to go back to Malik Monk as that second unit ball handling, whatever, and then Herter went ice cold in the shooting department, and they're like, all right, well, I guess we'll just go back to Monk.
It's weird. I don't think they ever should have taken Monk out of the rotation, but maybe they're just like playing hot hand. I don't know. It just seems like the way that the Kings have been using these guys, it just screams like, they don't trust what they have. It's right. Like Malik, like your team sucks at defense. Just play Malik Monk and just try to outscore the other team. Just be that team. Like it may not be, like great fundamental basketball. Just be that team and let Malik Monk play. And I think they're kind of back to that. So you've highlighted some like I like all these guys. Like don't get me wrong. I think all these guys are pretty good. But I guess like the problem is that like a lot of them are they're all going all the time in the 6th. Like what do we like? This is kind of the 6th round. Like there's not really. I feel like on my typical slates, I'm I'm able to kind of, I don't know. I just feel like, it's just kind of like, I'm not going to like, okay, this is cool. Now keep going. Like, who else do you got? But, I don't know,
I
man.
could keep cooking this. I could
Oh, I
keep
know you
cooking right
could.
now.
I know you could,
'Cause
but, I don't know, man. Maybe I just haven't drafted enough.
yeah, maybe, or maybe like you were just kind of like setting rankings and then letting it go, and then weren't like thinking about the mix and match in the sixth yet until we officially got news.
I mean, the one player you haven't talked about that I
Mhm.
really like, I'm not including IQ because IQ is like an obvious smash, but
Yeah,
Draymond.
IQ's yeah.
Love I'm like oddly like a big Draymond guy now. I take Draymond a lot in these contests. It just because I kind of like the fact that the Warriors defense isn't very good right now, and they're playing more fast pace, and Draymond kind of has the ability to give you a pretty easy 40 in the sixth round. So I've been doing Draymond quite a bit, especially against the Nets. The Nets right now, I don't really think are anything serious. This should be a pretty fun game. I would caution the projection bros to if you're fading Steph and Cam Thomas tonight, I mean, just be careful, man, because this could turn into a track meet.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you there. I mean, I won't be going as far as like Dinwiddie, but I think you're right. I think Cam Johnson should be getting drafted in the sixth round. I think people should be, basically the easiest fades when you just look at projection juxtaposed to whatever is flipping the ADPs of Bridges and Cam Thomas, right? Like that's like the easiest fades that can naturally occur if you just drag and drop projection outside projection sources.
Yeah, and I think I do like Bridges more than Cam Thomas, but I don't want to be
Okay.
caught without any Cam Thomas. Like that's something where if you are in a lobby and it's nothing but badges and it's nothing but names you recognize from the Discord, maybe don't take Cam Thomas at ADP, but you can probably get a 6 pick discount on Cam Thomas in the right rooms, and he's beyond worth that. So I mean, you just got to kind of read the tea leaves. He's balling out. He's a big part of the offense again, and I don't see why a game against the Warriors would, make that not a thing, for tonight as well.
Well, the best place to score against the Warriors too is perimeter scoring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Catch and shoot threes, and what does Cam Thomas do? He fills it up, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm in lockstep with you there in terms of like the easiest guys that are getting overlooked right now are Brandon Miller. A little less so now that Melo has been ruled out, but Brandon Miller was getting overlooked and Cam Thomas were getting overlooked just because they're not going to project as well, but they've both been putting up 50 burgers in recent memory.
Yeah, that Lakers Hornets game is a weird one. Hornets are just not that fun team to play with in fantasy like they used to be, but with Bridges and Miller and Washington, those guys are all pretty good pieces of draft. But it just feels like a pretty gross game. And for me, man, like Reeves and Russell, I'm having a lot of trouble getting to tonight. Personally,
I think they're interesting because they're contingency plays tonight. You know what I mean? It's like at their ADPs, are they values if LeBron or AD sit? Absolutely. Do I want them if LeBron and AD play? Absolutely not. Like,
right?
give me the next tier, right? So I think that's what everyone's having a tough play with. The Russell one's weird, though, because I needed Russell in a big way on Saturday night there, and he just never came back in. He didn't close. They're just like, nope, we're just going to close without him. And they kept Prince out there. They kept Rui and Reeves, and then obviously the big two. So if they do something like that tonight, I mean, Russell's not even worth being drafted at all. But if you get both LeBron and AD out, well, Russell's probably going to jump to like 22 or 21, something like that. That's what makes them so difficult. So do you have a lean on the top Lakers guys?
Outside of LeBron and AD?
No, those two. Like, do you have a lean on whether they play or not? Because that governs your draft strategy for Russell and Reeves, I think.
I'm playing as though they play.
Okay.
I'm not. I definitely am. I'm not. The thing with like LeBron specifically is like I don't think it makes sense to put him in ranks over like two guys because we're the only people the people watching this show, we're the only people that take LeBron ahead of ADP. Casuals like are scared of LeBron and are scared of the Q tag. Like, so if
Right.
you're going to end up with so much, like you don't have to, unless you really think LeBron is going to smash, like you just don't really need to take LeBron ahead of ADP, you know, like projections will strongly indicate for you to do.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. It's good. RT
Is that DRT?
Yeah, we've done this before where he's the Vancouver Island guy and he comes in with the SD99 and we never know if it's RT or SD. Yeah, he'll push the plane if the Canucks win.
Habs aren't winning shit, right?
Habs?
I always the Canadians, the Canucks. I always confuse the Canadians and the Canucks.
No, yeah, Canucks good. The Canucks are a wagon, man. Just made a big trade over the weekend too. Ooh. Actually, you got to humor me here for a second. The NHL All-Star game on Saturday night was like a draft your team. And I think there was like a handshake agreement behind closed doors that like Hughes gets to draft all the Canucks. And the game was in Toronto, right? Austin Matthews, he gets to draft, you know, all the Maple Leafs guys, right? And I think there was like kind of a handshake agreement. For whatever reason, the Canucks, so they made a trade on, I guess it was Thursday night or something. While the guy was flying to the All-Star game, he got traded from Calgary to Vancouver, right? Okay, so this Lindholm guy is at the All-Star game, but he's Calgary's representative, but now he's a Canuck, right? And the Canucks had five representatives plus their coach, and they drafted them all on the same team, except for they didn't draft Lindholm. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? So now there's all these pictures of the Canucks at the All-Star game, and there's like 5 guys in red jerseys, and then him just tacked on in a yellow jersey at the end. And it's like, dude, he's your new teammate. Just draft him instead of drafting like some dude from Tampa Bay or whatever, right? And like GA's right, like Lindholm low-key does suck. Like he's a Selke trophy guy, which means like he's a defensive first forward. And if you're trying to win like an All-Star game, you probably want the other guys that they drafted, but that's not the point. The point is the aesthetic of like not drafting like your own teammate when you drafted all the other teammates. Like, yeah, sure, he's only been on the team for like 2 minutes, but like make him feel included. And now there's just all these pictures of them where it's like he's wearing a different jersey. It's hilarious.
Way to go, NHL.
Well, it wasn't NHL. It was the players. The players were drafting. So, like, you'd think, like, someone from, like, Canucks PR would be like, yo, Hughes, by the way, Lindholm's on your team now. Fucking draft him. And instead, he just drafts all the other Canucks and not that guy.
Now the chemistry's all fucked. Now they're definitely not winning the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, right. Oh, yo, shout out Clay becoming a YouTube member. Be like Clay. Do that. Crossdress Life bringing up a very interesting point here. That if one sits and one plays, Reeves plays better with Braun, Russell plays better with AD. I have noticed these similar splits, so that's a really good shout there.
Yeah, Reeves and LeBron are like peanut butter and jelly, man. They're meant to play together.
Yeah, Clay bringing up the Harden in Atlanta night narrative. They went from Miami last night to Atlanta tonight. Harden has gone Peelers Court, back to the Peelers. That's what he's doing.
Peelers, he says.
So good, man.
Yeah, you gotta look out for that, man. That might be Paul George night.
Yeah. Line moved Brooklyn -2 to Warriors -1. Interesting. I'm trying to think who that could affect or why that would. Because Wiggins is out. I don't know. We'll look at the most recent injury report and get to it. Yeah, we got some other ones in the late round here. I had a theory about I was going to say Saskatchewan when I saw Sacramento. The Sacramento rotation in recent memory. I think maybe they're trying to like butter up Herter or Barnes to be a trade piece. And they knew what they had in Monk NBA trade deadline coming up this week, something like that, before the All-Star break there, or just after the All-Star break. So there was some speculation that the rotation and all like this Barnes playing time and Herter playing time was like, they might want to flip them for, a Brogdon type, or they might want to flip them for something like that. And they were kind of like showcasing. Just a theory.
The trade deadline is the 8th.
Yeah.
I've heard of like people saying that teams are doing this to showcase players.
Mm-hmm.
I just like I'm not, maybe they are, but if a team is doing that, then like you are not a sharp team in my opinion. Like the NBA front offices are way too sharp to be fooled by like a 4-game sample size of a guy that was given a green light. Like
yeah,
no one's getting fooled because Harrison Barnes put up 30. Like what is that doing for a team's evaluation of Harrison Barnes? This dude is a veteran. Like it's doing nothing.
It's fair.
But like, you're not. I'm not. That's not an attack on you. But like,
no, you can attack me all you want, Nez. I know it wasn't.
I'm not just like if a team is doing that, like you need to get your fucking priorities straight.
Well, there's the reason I bring it up is because there's tons of rumors surrounding Charlotte right now, right? And PJ Washington might be one of those pieces because Brandon Miller's not going anywhere. And Melo's not going anywhere. Other than that, I think they're kind of like open for sale, right? So I was just kind of spin zoning it into you get a game tonight where the Lakers get both guys in. LeBron and AD only play 29 minutes. They're up 25. And now all of a sudden, maybe it's PJ Washington night. Maybe it's Nick Richards night where these guys are just doing work against the second unit.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I think this spread is just entirely too large. I don't know that.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, for me personally, like you get the Hornets at home and the Lakers just kind of being this like miscombobulated mess, and the Hornets with this like nothing to lose attitude. I'm really surprised that the spread is double digits personally. I could see this being just a really disgusting game. But I'm drafting LeBron and AD. Don't get me wrong, but I have a lot of worries that this game just absolutely sucks.
Okay, yeah, I think that's fair. The reason I think it's relative to us is like some of the best usage could open up from this game on either side, and I think that's what's kind of driving the conversation. Not that the game itself would be good, but yeah,
don't want to double count, but
yeah, I could definitely see it just like not being good, exactly as the Hornets game was, I guess 2 times ago. Like we had a Miles Bridges break the slate with a 61
against the Bulls.
Yeah, against the Bulls, and then the game before that, everyone on the Hornets fell flat on their face when we thought they were opening up value.
Frustrating.
Anyone else of the scroll the F down variety? I will throw Russell Westbrook out here because I got a theory. That one of the Clippers sits tonight, and Westbrook in the 6th. They play small. Zubac came back last night. It's the second night of a back-to-back. He came back last night. It was Plumlee who played backup 5. Why am I blanking on the other? Daniel Theis. It wasn't Theis that played backup 5. So I think there's a potential tonight that if they play small against Atlanta, because Atlanta's without Capella, that they could do that closing unit with Russell Westbrook tonight, and Russell Westbrook's minutes jump to like 29 or something like that. And against Atlanta, that's a guy I want exposure to.
If something opens up, for sure. But right now, I don't know. I mean, Paul George is not on the injury report, so it seems like he's back. Maybe Harden, like comes in late and he's got the flu.
Yeah, he's got the $1 flu. That's what he's got right now.
Yeah, he's feeling a couple bands lighter, not feeling that game weight. Maybe that. Pay attention to it, because if something opens up, then obviously like Russ just becomes such an insane pick. But until then, I'm not going to go away. But definitely keeping an eye out.
I like this spin zone from Clay that PG sits, Harden strips, Kawhi balls. I love that. Yeah. And Magic City on Monday. Oh my goodness.
I mean, that's for after the game, right? So we're good.
Magic City Monday. Um, yeah, other ones we didn't hit on. Kelly Oubre. Do you think there's any reason to think you could go to Garland tonight? I know he popped up on the injury report. I don't think he plays, but maybe the minutes limit, because it was like it was a jaw injury, like it was a facial injury, but then he popped up with something else. I think it's listed
A
as
knee right now.
a knee. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he sits.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, I love like Donovan Mitchell tonight. I've got like a pretty bullish stance on him in these
Okay.
main contests, and
I
in
like it.
the early only, because there's no ADP there, so you can kind of do whatever you want
And push him up a little bit. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that stance just in general. I mean, if you get one of the two ruled out, if you get both ruled out, he's going to be looking really nice in a plus matchup against the Kings. There. I mentioned Cam Johnson, like just seen an uptick in minutes recently. Dorian Finney-Smith might be back tonight though, or not Dorian Finney-Smith. Dennis Smith Jr. back tonight. So be interesting to see what that does with the Cam rotation for the Nets there.
Yeah.
Bruce Brown. Nobody's talking about Bruce Brown. I think he starts tonight, and he starts for RJ. He plays 35, 36 minutes there. I think there's a path for Bruce Brown in the 6th round really mattering.
Yeah, no, I agree. I love my Raptors. I love my Pelicans, and Bruce Brown with 35 minutes. He could find his way to 40. And really, like I always mention, especially on slates like this size, I'm more than happy with 40 points from my 6th round pick. So Brown definitely has that upside, and with like very, very little ownership tonight, like almost certainly.
Cool. I might be scrolling too far, but I just, when you said you didn't want to scroll tonight, and I was saying I wanted to scroll, I just got excited, and as I wanted to scroll.
Good.
At the front end of the draft boards and stuff here, I was pushing up Maxey early in the day. I think it's a really good spot for guards against Dallas. Little less so now with Luka in. I was thinking it was going to be like really nice to get ahead of Maxey and Kyrie early in the day. Might be wrong about that now. But what have you been doing with AD? Do you just take him at 2? Do you like Mitchell over Sabonis? You said you liked Mitchell there. What have you been doing with the front, like kind of call it 13? Because I think there's a tier break after Scotty Barnes.
Yeah, I've got like Sabonis 2 spots behind Mitchell and Maxey. And then I have Kawhi Leonard then right behind Sabonis. So that's like as crazy as like I'm really getting is doing this. This is my preference right now. It does seem like Kawhi is going to play. I feel like we would probably get a Q tag otherwise. And I mean, if he doesn't, then RIP me. But he's been, if he's been healthy, he's been playing, and he's been playing full strength. Like, you got to tip your cap to Kawhi this season. Really, really balling out. The Trae Young ADP to me is kind of interesting because on one hand, I don't think he should be going ahead of Steph and LeBron. On the other hand, do you think, and maybe this is just like me, like not quite understanding the way that the Hawks play with Capella in, but Capella out and Onyeka in, does that kind of speed up that offense a little bit? Like, why does that feel like that's low key, a little bit of a boost to Trae Young? Maybe nothing crazy, but it does seem like they'll play faster without Capella. Capella's out for the next week or so. So, I was kind of thinking about that, but against the Clippers, maybe not the spot to test this theory when you can take Steph, Kawhi, and LeBron ahead of him. What do you think about that?
I fully agree with you. I think that's the inverse of my liking Russell Westbrook take there, is that I think they play fast and I think they play small. And, playing a Okongwu at the 5 and then, Clippers match it. And then if you get one of the big 3 out from the Clippers, man, I think just Trae's usage is going to be insane. He's going to play 36, 38 minutes. And he's a really tough person to get over the field on a night-to-night basis, especially against what would traditionally be a bad matchup against the Clippers. I think tonight's an outlier, and that game plays small, that game plays fast, and Trae, it all funnels through Trae, basically. Yeah. Especially if you get no Hunter, too. Like, Hunter's missed a good amount of basketball recently, and you get Saddiq Bey, low-key flyer in the 6th that's leverage off of the Kongwu stuff. So like I think they could play small and fast tonight and be really condensed, and I think that's a really good thing with Trey.
Yeah, they're 244 for the total tonight. So, that's tied with Mavs and Sixers. So,
Do they have
as to be
Sadiq Bey?
expected. They have him starting at small forward.
Okay. Yeah. Sadiq Bey is kind of sneaky tonight.
Projected to start at small forward, obviously.
Yeah, I think Sadiq Bey could be a little sneaky 6th rounder that nobody's talking about as well. And we've seen some ceiling games from him like recently. Like he put up like 45 fantasy points 2 or 3 times ago.
Yeah. Like that's a real shout.
Yeah. I mean, like for me, I prefer getting to auxiliary pieces of Hawks clips than I do Raps Pels, and everybody's getting to Raps Pels.
For sure. Yeah. One thing that is interesting about Bey is that he missed last game against the Warriors. And I think he got hurt in the middle of that Suns game, it looks like, with a sprained ankle. So that looks to be a legit Q tag. And if he doesn't go, Jalen Johnson's already super expensive to draft. But, that makes his ADP warranted. Okay. And, Bogdan then becomes pretty appealing if Bey doesn't go. But we've all of a sudden gone from, hey, the 6th round sucks, I can't draft anybody, to like, hey, here's 10 guys that I can now draft. So thank you for the discussion. I appreciate you.
Yeah. No, I think it's really good, and like it's something we've alluded to together, and you've alluded to when you're doing your solo morning ranking show. There is when you talk through it and you just kind of like get your wheels turning, because it's really easy to jump on the app, look at the top 36 in ADP, and then just be like, all right, let's rank them and go. But then once you start thinking through like the potentials that could happen from like a I know ball standpoint, all of a sudden it's like, whoa, my third eye opens a little bit. So I think I think it's really good discourse just in general. We haven't talked about Pods. I think Pods will be really nice with Wingeds out tonight. He could jump into that starting lineup, play like 30 some odd there against a bad perimeter Nets defense without Dorian Finney-Smith, right? So without DFS, they're kind of like worse on the perimeter. I kind of like Pods a little bit tonight as well. Anyone else? Oh, we got a hand on the strips take.
Hand on the pole.
Hand on the pole take. On the pole take that Foley's is better than Magic City. So
from James.
There you go, man. That's James Harden's burner account right there. He's like,
that is Jimmy James.
James, you guys are so off, bro. I've been at Foley's all night.
That kind of works too. Like, Jimi Hendrix is left-handed. James Harden, lefty. Oh. He puts the headband on like Jimmy does when he gets ready to go in the strip club.
It's pretty good.
As soon as he gets steps into the club, he gets entrance music. I'm just saying. I think we just doxed James Harden in our chat.
That was very good. That was a pretty good guitar impression there with the heavy distortion.
I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again.
That's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I fired out a tweet. We were at the in-laws last night after our kind of like date day or whatever. They had the dog, went by there and watched maybe like an hour and a half of the Grammys alongside them. Dude, I just can't get on board with some of these artists these days. I was like old man.
Who did you
yelling
watch
at the clouds?
That tweet. I want to guess. Was it Travis Scott? Was it the Travis Scott performance?
Dude, okay. I consider myself like decently cultured from a music perspective. I know everybody just like looks at my Spotify and they're like, yo, this guy just listens to Morgan Wallen and Luke Combs. he's a piece of shit. But like, dude, I've seen Travis Scott live. Like I've seen like tons of, varying artists. Like I used to be like EDM guy, went to Electric Daisy and stuff like that. I've seen like Sia and Taylor Swift and like seen these people live. I just can't get on board with SZA, Lizzo, like those two. I was fucking out on. Like I just didn't think they were that good. Billie Eilish, like that was so like breathy and like airy and just I imagine her and her brother are very like talented musicians behind closed doors. I just didn't think they were good performances. I don't know.
I didn't watch.
I felt so old.
I didn't watch, but SZA, man, I love SZA. Love her music, and I've seen her live, and I have heard like conflicting reports about her live performances. Let me just say, when I saw her in Kansas City, whenever she was touring for Control, like she was great. She was great.
Okay.
She had like a live band. It was awesome. So I'm sorry that she disappointed you. I didn't watch the performance, but yeah, her music is good. I can't let you slander SZA here. But
see, like, what's the old school, like, 2000s version of like SZA? Like
the 2000s version of SZA? I'm not so sure. I'd have to think about that one and look through my, like, I mean, 2000s R&B is just like, it's literally, it's like it's a pantheon. Like, it's its own thing. Like 2000s R&B was just, I mean, a moment in time, man. It can't be replicated. It will never be replicated. Dude, no. D'Angelo is his own thing. D'Angelo, you can't do D'Angelo. D'Angelo is D'Angelo.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I was just like comparing it in my mind of like Grammys of my generation when I was like a bit younger. Like, it'd be like Alicia Keys and Mary J. Blige and Mariah Carey, and like that shit was like bangers. Beyonce, like these are like generational talents. And now I'm like out here watching, Raheem Mostert run for 21 touchdowns, and I'm supposed to put him on the same pendulum as like Arian Foster. And it's like, no, man. I had Jamal Charles. I had Arian Foster. Like, I'm not going to celebrate a 21 touchdown season for Raheem Mostert. All right.
Comparing? Did you just compare SZA to Raheem Mostert? Is that where we just went? Is that the path?
That's where I went. I think that's where I went.
Just listen to. I'll send you a playlist, man. I'll send you a SZA playlist, and then hopefully you can forgive her. I'm sorry that she didn't meet your expectations.
All right, let's draft some hoops.
All right, before Neumy yells at us and revokes our right to talk about Underdog.
Oh man. Oh my goodness. Friends and families. What do you got, Nez?
Everybody just like, you have a standing ovation in the chat for the way that you took that to Raheem Mostert. Nobody in 1,000 years would have guessed you were going to Raheem Mostert versus Arian Foster when you talked about your disappointment in the Grammy performances. I mean, what a journey. That was M. Night Shyamalan-esque, the way that you just like, and by the way, SZA's Raheem Mostert. Unbelievable. Comp guy strikes again.
Comp guy, baby. A couple guys we didn't talk about yet, Nez. The Q tags in the middle of the draft. Tobias Harris. I think Tobias Harris, good spot tonight if he goes. He's been dealing with multiple illnesses now, multiple times. Are you in on Tobias Harris at ADP right now?
Yeah, I think I would call it a great spot. Okay. This is a tremendous spot for Tobias Harris. He's such an important part of this team without Joel Embiid. Big time part of the offense. He's going to play a ton of minutes if he does play. I am all over Tobias Harris tonight. That's a big stand of mine. I always target the Mavericks, and especially no Embiid. I target the Sixers, but that is basically limited to just Luka and Kyrie, because if Kyrie wasn't in, then I would get more THJ, but I can't really do THJ if Kyrie and Luka are in. It just doesn't really make sense.
Yeah, I like that shout. Sabonis goes at 2 there. AD falls to us. Are people getting a little cold feet at that AD might sit tonight kind of narrative? Because centers versus Charlotte, I think I'm just keep clicking.
You just need to take AD, I think. The delta, in my opinion, between Mitchell, who's my 103, to AD, is just too large to take Mitchell. But do love me some Donovan Mitchell. I'm surprised, especially that he's at 3. I didn't realize that we were at 3 there. Very nice. The thing that is kind of worrisome is that, like, I think Sabonis is like a major fade against this Cleveland team, but projections love Sabonis tonight. They think his median is really, really safe and have him top 5, which I would not have had. But I'm not trying to lose at the hands of Domantas Sabonis anymore.
That's fair, man. Here comes a really interesting one, because I think if one of the big 3 sit, Harden would be my pick here. I could go. Fox has been playing some inspired basketball after being snubbed from the All-Star game, and Kyrie was my favorite pick prior.
Harden, I guess.
You like
I
Harden more
also,
than Fox?
yeah. I'm not ready to like don Fox's back, especially against the Cavs. Just not really a spot that I want to get into with him.
I will say that Fox's 2 most recent performances where there's been a spike have coincided with less Herter and less Barnes on the court.
Interesting.
So is there a little causation, whatever? Because Malik Monk is now back, and by happenstance, Fox is now back too. So I think there's a little bit of usage stuff there. I will also say that's like the bull case. The bear case on it is he's had back-to-back 6 stock games. We're talking
Say
5
less.
steals and a block each of those games where he's put up 50 and 60.
Yeah, I mean, people forget that he is. How tall is De'Aaron Fox? I was about to say people forget that he's taller than Donovan Mitchell, so maybe he's got some blocks in his future.
Yeah.
Damn it, where the hell are his dimensions? I don't care when he joined the Kings. How tall is De'Aaron Fox? I need to make sure that this take has legs. He's 6'3", so he's a giant.
Okay.
People forget Donovan Mitchell is only 6 foot tall. So maybe it's Fox stock night again. Okay, here's a spot where you gotta make decisions here. I've been going Tobias Harris.
Interesting. All right, let's do it because I have not. I've been doing Miles Bridges.
Okay, yeah, that's totally fair. I'm light on Bridges right now, which kind of sucks. Yeah, I think him against the Lakers, like I said, that game could be terrible, but the usage is just obviously nuts for Miles Bridges. So he's getting a lot of steam for sure. But I think Harris against the Mavs has 50 written all over it.
Yeah, I really hope he plays tonight. Spin zone on Miles. Miles playing the Lakers. Lakers need a little bit of help. Miles rumored to be on the block a little bit here. Showcase night right in front of Ham. Hey, look what I could do for your ball club.
So how's that going to work whenever LeBron is a New York Knick?
He put an end to those rumors.
LeBron is legit a pervert for feeding into these trade rumors by putting on the Knicks towel. Like, that is a perverted move. You have to, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing wearing that Knicks towel after the game, and then you post on your story, like, the playground, my absolute favorite place to play. Like, so shit. Like, I love it. I think I am Mikal Bridges, but I like Cam Thomas, and Brandon Miller's fine too, since we don't have Miles.
Okay. I was going to say, let's take Brandon Miller because he's the cover boy, but I do think I like Bridges slightly over the two of them.
Yeah, this feels like a great spot for our boy Bridges. It was just the computers will always love. I don't think that they've got him super. They are super bullish on him tonight. Never mind. But that was, what's his ADP now? Is it 25? Yeah.
25.
It was 26 whenever I grabbed ADP. So he's moved up a spot, and projections have him ranked 19 with this tier of like Claxton, Zion, Ingram, DeJounte. Yeah.
I really wanted PG to come to us there. I think PG is mispriced if they play tonight. We could do the McCollum thing here. We could do, I don't really like the Lakers stuff. We could do IQ. Yeah, I think McCollum kind of feels like a tier break, but it's up to you.
I like McCollum. I wish that there was like one less body with the Pelicans, but maybe Zion sits.
Maybe Zion and Nance sit, and McCollum looks real nice.
Yeah, I was hoping we were going to get IQ back to us. That would be sick, but that's definitely not happening.
The days of 6th round IQ are dead, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. Unless you're in the right room, it's always IQ night. The slate's IQ is always IQ. Let's see who models are enjoying right now. The combo that I'm looking at here has IQ above Brandon Miller or equal with Brandon Miller, which is interesting, but I think that might be a bump that I added manually there. I need to check.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Gotta tweak a little bit here and there. Add a little +2 to somebody's projection because I like them.
I honestly think between ADP 20, like call it McCollum's the tier at 25. I think from that to like 36, you can just pick whoever the fuck you want. Put two of them together tonight.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Like, Mobley will smash it if he actually doesn't have a minutes limit and Allen and Garland sit. But I don't know. Who do you like here?
Ooh, man. I've been going Draymond, but I think Pajemski makes a lot of sense.
Let's do it. I like all of it. Man, I really like this.
That game.
Yeah, and you can keep scrolling down here. Keep getting it. I mean, like, Cam Johnson never gets love just because he's, like, boring. But, like, yeah, I guess he just doesn't have a ceiling.
LeVert.
Oh, shit.
LeVert is, like, an interesting swap tonight, I think.
Yeah,
if Garland doesn't play.
Yeah, if you get no Garland and you get no Allen, LeVert won't start because they just basically never start him now. But, like, the minutes have been pushed off of him a little bit, and now he could just be coming off the bench with that second unit, play 32. Yeah. The minutes limit is interesting.
If it gets removed though.
Woo.
Baby, wheels up.
All right, I think we nailed it on the hoops front there. Any last words you want to say about anything hoops related in general? Do you have a lean on Jared Allen or Zion, or guys you want to get ahead of because of it?
No, I'm taking both of them. Zion's ADP is a little rich. I prefer Zion whenever everybody's pissed at him and he goes in the 6th round. That's when I like to do the Zion thing.
Oh, you were all over that one on Friday or whatever it was.
Yeah, I was loving that. That was a decent night. I thought I was sitting at first for a minute there. God damn. That was we were babysitting my niece and I'm trying to be present. And we're watching Encanto, and meanwhile I'm checking my lineups every 5 minutes. I'm like, God damn it! And Bria's like, what? And I'm like, we gotta sweat. And so he immediately popped on the Nuggets game, and then that ripped out of my heart. But that was a fun night. No, let's are we doing baseball or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I think it's that time of year. I think it's that time of year where we just jump in a dinger here, get as many from the community as we can, and we do it.
All right, let's rip this thing. I'm trying to hit the gym by 4:30.
You can do it. Let's do it. Dinger time. Did my first oh my goodness, one more spot. Did my first perfect game the other night, Saturday night there.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. You were in that room, you tweeted it out. Right when you tweeted it out, I was hanging out with the nephews, got home, and then was like, oh, should I go, meet Nikki? They were out for drinks and whatever. And I just saw that tweet for a perfect game, and I was like, I'm staying in and I'm drafting a perfect game with the boys online. Where are we dropping, boys?
If you had a long day of babysitting, I think you are warranted to stay inside and do a fast. I think that's totally fair. Trust me, it's a long day of hanging with the the youngins, but it looked like you guys had a good time. A lot of Monster Jam was had.
Funny, we play Monster Jam. That's what it's all about. Those kids are obsessed with monster trucks and stuff. Actually, my brother-in-law, he's got an old hunting truck, and he rigged it up and made it into a little bit of a monster truck too. So we take him for a rip around the bog in the backyard and jump it with them and stuff like that. It's really fun. And then we come inside and then we play monster trucks inside after.
That's awesome.
Good. All right.
Strider 102. Let's have a draft, man. Let's go.
What a flex.
I'm gonna have to sit down for this one.
Yeah, Cooney goes at 1, Strider at 2, Soto next up the board to Drew there. We got Drew in here. We got Dusty in here. Zeke and Destroy. What a name. Pocket Aces showing his hand early. Pocket Aces from the 9.
Showing his hand. That's a good name, though, with the 2 A's, too.
Yeah. Classic.
I think Easy's mad that we did a draft. He was probably, I think he was hoping to get this room filled before we joined, but have no fear, man. We're who you want.
I kind of would have liked that too because we could have got some more in here. All right, Nez. I am Fernando Tatis Jr. and Yordan Alvarez pilled, but I don't think I can do it over Mookie Betts. What do you think about this whole range?
I'm actually Shohei here now.
Wow.
Kind of thought about it a little bit more. I don't think it's a bad thing that you hit behind Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman in the Dodgers lineup. The more I think about it, the more I think that might be a good thing.
Well, okay, here my bear case on Shohei last year was he was more apt to get hurt because
I'm so mad that came to fruition, honestly.
Yeah, but it just made too much sense. Like he's more apt to get hurt when he's pitching and hitting. Pitchers get hurt at a way higher rate, blah blah blah. And like that one for me, but this year I can't say that. He's already hurt. He's working through it. And now he's just going to hit, right? And he's going to be ready for opening day. So I think maybe if we just look at him through the lens of just being a full-fledged hitter and he's not going to play the field at all, it'd be really hard for, I don't know, maybe he's like a beacon of health this year comparatively, because he's a DH now.
That's all he's doing. That's all he's doing is hitting, man. And he's hitting bombs and, probably still going to steal close to 20 bases, maybe not 20 bases. Yeah, hitting with the guys that are around him plus the guys that are behind him. I mean, Shohei is going to have an unbelievable season. Just an unbelievable season. One thing that is interesting, though, that we kind of talked about and now has got me like way, way, way more scared of Will Smith is like the fact that like, how is Will Smith ever going to take plate appearances away from Shohei? Like low key, like Will Smith, he's really hard to project right now. And I don't know how you can take Will Smith like out after like, or before round like 18, like it just feels like there's just no way that where are these plate appearances going to come from? Is he going to like what position? He can't even play the field. You know what I mean? It's like you can put him at first.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I mean, maybe he does play a little bit more first base this year, but then you take away at bats from Freddie Freeman, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's going to be hard. You're going to be
maybe you can play third base and platoon with Muncy. That's like the best case scenario.
Yeah. Teach him how to play second base.
Everybody, they put their best players.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, look at like some of the models and stuff. I can't imagine they're projecting him from any more than 500 plate appearances.
Yeah, which like
I'm seeing like 515, something like that. All right. Garrett Cole comes to us. We could do the Randy Arozarena. You will not convince me to take Adolis. Trey Turner, Pete Alonso. Who do you like here, Nez?
Well, Vlad has been the topic of a lot of conversation because the Bad X thinks Vlad is going to break out. I would say Randy or Alonso, though, but just pointing out that Vlad is a Bad X darling.
Okay, let's take Randy. I kind of like the outfield thing.
Rays are growing on me. At first, like they're just gonna find a way to do it, So you might as well just like take their best hitter and assume that the counting stats will be there because they're going to be. The Rays just, they never look good on paper. Well, last year they looked really good on paper, but why not take Randy? Why not?
Yeah, it's also one of those years where. I mean, they always find a way to platoon guys, but like last year, it was like we could circle on the calendar at the start of the year. Okay, this is going to be a platoon. This is going to be a platoon. This is going to be a platoon. There's a little less of that this year because the depth isn't quite as apparent on their roster. And that scares me. Not that it would affect Randy necessarily, but that, is making me a little more bullish on like, last year, Isaac Paredes and Yandy Diaz, like we were like, wow, there's platoon risk there, like with both of them potentially. And then they both have breakout years. Now this year, it's kind of like, yeah, those feel way more stable than they have in years past.
Yeah, and they're still heavily discounted, which is pretty awesome. Double tapping Naylor and Isaac is just like, They're already, when you look at a draft that I'm in, you look at my draft board, they're already there in rounds like 11 and 12. It's just there's Naylor, there's Isak. They've already been drafted.
That's funny.
I've been thinking more and more about Paul Skeens, of course.
Yeah, naturally.
I kind of think he is a smash in the 20th.
Mm-hmm.
I really do, man. I feel like thinking about the way Grayson came on last year, where Grayson was expected to break camp with the team and he did, and then got sent down for like the middle of the season and then came back up and was very good. It's kind of, just that's already like baked in with Skeens. Like he's going undrafted. And if this dude doesn't see the majors this season, like something has went terribly, terribly wrong. Like whether it's a health thing or what, but I think there's a chance that we see Skeens up because he has to be up. For the sake of Ben Cherington's job, Paul Skeens needs to see the major leagues this season. It's going to be good for the organization to get that hype, and the team's going to need his innings. Like, yeah, they're going to tread water right now, but if Paul Skeens doesn't see the major leagues, like this is just an absolute failure, considering Wyatt Langford might break camp with the Rangers, and they don't even have room for him, and he still might. Yeah. Anyways, I'm beginning to take him in the 20th.
I think it's fair from a ceiling perspective. It's just like I have such a hard time with like bad teams wanting to push pitching that's young.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
Seager or Devers?
Seager.
Okay, you're not scared about the hernia stuff?
Not at this. Like, we're getting a discount on Seager where he should be like right after Bobby Witt.
Yeah, probably. It's close.
Yeah, I guess it's close, but like the Rangers lineup is going to be disgusting, and Corey Seager is batting second. I mean,
right?
Come on now.
Yeah. The combination of him and Simeon feels so nice. Bobby Witt signed that big ass deal yesterday.
That was this morning, wasn't it?
Yeah, 11 years.
11 years, 28 mil, worth up to like 337, I think, with club options. Man, baseball's so broken with these big markets being able to sign all these players to big contracts, Such a broken sport, man. How do we fix the baseball economy when teams like the Royals can just sign whoever they want, Got to fix the game.
That's funny.
Yeah, the quickest way to get brain damage is to like read Pittsburgh beat writers or Pittsburgh reporters and their commentary on the baseball economics. Yeah, that'll rot a hole in your brain quicker than like putting your head in a microwave.
Oh, thank God I don't do it. Easy with a very unique start here, starting 3 infield. 4 infield. Wow. Very interesting. I love it.
Ooh, oops.
Puke and green. We'll see what happens here. I like that. I love these experimental builds that are like naturally contrarian.
That's the only way you can make Ellie work is if you, disguise him with top three infielders, and then you can sneak him in and you're not counting on him. That's the only way that Ellie's going to make sense.
I gotcha. Yeah. Oh, Tyler's in on it with you. 20th round there.
Just a lot. I think part of it too is like last year I felt so confident in the 20th round. Like there was just so many guys that I loved in the 20th that like I couldn't draft them all. I had to start taking them earlier. Whereas like this year, I don't feel that same love in the 20th. Maybe like drafters have changed, or something, but I'm not feeling that same level of like comfortability in the 20th now. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, why am I taking like Seth Lugo, when I have like my innings? Like if I need Seth Lugo, like I'm probably fucked.
I don't know. Yeah, Seth Lugo kind of feels fine to me. I kind of like Seth Lugo. But I know
he makes sense in certain builds, but
I mean, I've been drinking the Bo Kool-Aid here, but Springer, Bo, Gallon?
Springer or Bo for me.
All right, let's do Springer and see if Bo comes back. But I think the Vlad drafter will probably tack on Bo there. But I don't see Springer fall, but I see Bo fall.
Mm-hmm.
So
Right. That's what I'm hoping for. Springer, this is a really good Springer price considering we were drafting him in 20 picks earlier the year before, and he stayed
Yeah.
fully healthy, pretty much.
Yeah. And not much has changed for him, right? I mean, apart from
No.
the ballpark, like right-handed power doesn't play as well there this year, but yeah.
Yeah, I have a lot of Springer just because it just, the positional scarcity, people are really tied to what happened last season. And I get it, man. I don't really love the Blue Jays either, but so many people are, really pointing out that, hey, the Blue Jays, it's like people are expecting them to get slapped with regression,
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Let me see here. I've been kind of like writing down some of my cheeky stacks here, Nez, that I've liked because I don't know, a lot of stuff is kind of like going. I feel like we fall to victim to ADP, like just thinking about your 20th round and stuff like that, like these deeper ones. Like there's a lot of good veteran infielders who go like undrafted. Like in the
Yeah.
$100 the other night, like Jake Cronenworth. Like Jake Cronenworth, like his playing time is low key the safest it's ever been.
Mm-hmm.
And we're not touching him. Like obviously bad park lineup got worse, but like there's reasons to like a dude like that who is low key Ryan McMahon light in terms of skill set, but he goes undrafted and unowned, right?
Yeah,
And I think
I'm guilty of that too. Of not drafting Cronenworth when I was drafting him years prior. Have been a fan of his for years, and now I've just been like too. I don't know what it is, just like optimized to optimal pilled to be like, oh, I can't draft Cronenworth when, like you said, the plate appearances are for certain going to be there. Lefty stick. Yeah, I think I'm going to start mixing in some Cronenworth in the 20th.
And it's not even like Cronenworth in particular. It's just like Cronenworth could just be a placeholder for like so many other names, like Brandon Drury, Luis Randolfo, Rizzo. I mean, like Rizzo's a bit earlier. France, Jorge Blanco, like these guys that are gonna get like 550 plus and be viable. Okay, whoa, shit, we're on the clock here. Goldschmidt or starter?
Goldschmidt or Senga?
Let's do Goldschmidt.
Okay.
I like Senga, but like not at the expense of. We got a little bit of a Goldschmidt fall there, and I just like feel like we can build out pitching a little bit better. I mean, we can build out infield hitting too. I don't know, like there's a lot of teams, that are just like, some other ones in this chat here, like started saying like Miami, Seattle, Detroit, like they're nice late grabs that like people aren't going to that just feel good.
Yeah.
Angels
Jake Berger.
have a handful of mostly undrafted infielders that are viable. Yeah, fully agree with that. Yeah, see, like Jake Berger's almost in the other camp where Jake Berger goes every single draft. So it's like, just don't take Jake Berger, take Brandon Drury instead.
I don't think I will.
Like those two aren't like one for one, but you know what I mean? Like take Ryan Mountcastle. I don't know. It's just like interesting. Like we talk about like uniqueness levers to pull in football so much with like backstack guys. And then in baseball, it's like even more viable, right? Like, like Josh Bell just puts up 1K every single year.
Mm-hmm.
He could be the leverage piece you need that gets hot, at the end. Like Chapman could find a really nice landing spot and play every single day. Chapman,
I think, yeah, I gotta look at the young guys for the Angels are really interesting. It's just a matter of if they were like, brought up way too soon. But Nolan Shanwell,
and like Zach
pretty
Nato.
interesting, and Nito as well. And I like Ohapi too. But Ohapi is a
really
catcher, which is catchers. Like, that's really hard. But I do like Ohapi if you're season long bro out here. And
I'm not doing a little bit with no Ohtani though.
Yeah, that's the thing. He can definitely step in there, but right now that looks like roster resource thinks Drury is the DH, and they're both righties, so that would be a bit of an issue. But I'm not doing it. But Mickey Moniak, ran super hot last season, but sported a 35% K rate. So it looks like that's gonna be a big time problem.
Former 101. Yes.
By the Phils. Do you want Kirby, man? I think this is a
Yeah.
great start to the rotation.
Yeah, that feels like a nasty fall right there. That feels great for us to punt pitcher and then get 6th round Kirby to start a rotation with.
Yeah, Kirby looks like one of the safer picks as far as pitching goes in this range.
Yeah, I'm trying to think through some other ones here, like just on the fly, like in terms of like, because we haven't really done like a rankings deep dive or, oh shit, that's not what I meant to do at all. We haven't really done like a rankings deep dive or anything for baseball yet. And I'm just trying to think like, they don't even necessarily have to be like stacks, but like just some of these kind of like mispriced back end guys that are like, they're boring, but they're like guys that could fill it up late. Like,
well, I don't know if you consider this late, but like we just passed Vinny P. I'm gonna have like 50% Vinny P this season if he's going in the 140s. I feel like people forget what he can do.
yep.
I mean, thankfully, like that's what we have for the last 2 seasons. And yeah, it's not great to come back from a shoulder surgery, but I'm loading up on Vinny Pasta.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I know that baseball was in on it. I mean, like just buying good young talent like that. I mean, he was basically going at the exact same price last year, and he returns that value if he doesn't get hurt. And he didn't even have a particularly like great year last year, and he probably still would have returned value.
Mm-hmm. They caught on late. Like the Royals just got off to an abysmal start.
Easy going a little stack happy here. This looks like he's like planned out a board before, right?
Yeah.
Dylan Cease, Grayson. If we want to go the pitcher route, we could stack Arenado. That kind of feels fun. Yandy, Josh Lowe.
I take Grayson every time here, but I think Arenado makes sense too with the Cardinal stack.
Let's go, Grayson.
Fuck yeah.
Kind of feels like a good young back ace pairing of like
Grayson's gonna Kirby. Grayson's gonna smash. It's honestly pretty funny, in my opinion, that he goes in the 7th. Like Grayson is a monster, man. Right. I think when you look at his stats too, and he kind of missed some time. I think that's kind of like keeping him low, but
yeah.
And on top of the fact that the K percentage, the K per 9 was just like average, but at every other point in his career, the dude has been like a strikeout monster and throws 100 miles an hour. Like, let's go, man.
Yeah, that's not who we saw for a bit in the big leagues last year in terms of strikeout rate. Isn't who he's been in the minors.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was otherworldly in the minors in terms of strikeout rate.
Yeah, man, he's got it. I love a changeup too. I'm a sucker for a guy that sports a changeup. He's going to be one of my highest owned players. Definitely pitcher, but highest owned players this season for me. Right now, I'll tell you what I've got. Through 19 dingers, just finished a slow dinger. 1 second here. Gotta wait for this to update.
Can't wait to dox the shit out of Easy's team here.
50. I have 57% Grayson. So 11 out of 19 teams have Grayson, and I have 11 out of 19 have Josh Naylor. I think I'm going to be way more concentrated than I was in years past. Like, just kind of like fuck it, man. Like, let me just like get your guys, and it's so much more fun to just advance like a shit ton of teams. And it seems like the people that have a high concentrated portfolio advance like way more teams.
Oh yeah, naturally. That's just
right.
That's just
I want to be a part of that.
I like it. All right. I like Yandy. I like him more than Belly, slightly, not knowing landing spot, and then I like the fact that he stacks with Randy.
I like Yandy for the stack. Where do you think Bellinger's going to end up?
I don't know, man. It's a really tough one.
We talk about this every time.
The problem is like you have to quote unquote overpay for him, right? Because he's got the accolades of the past with like yeah. And then he's got the past accolades. Then he's got a like, oh, it looks like it took a downturn. And then you have a proven track record as to why he figured it out. Swing doctor, everything changed. And now it's like, hey, look at this on paper. You have a player that was once like face of the league type talent. Then he has a couple down years. Now he's found himself again. And he wants like the Chris Bryant contract. The problem is, doesn't it kind of feel like it'll age the exact fucking same way as Chris Bryant? So it's a very, very tricky one. What he wants, what his agents want, what I don't think he's worth. That's the problem.
He can play the outfield is what's weird. You know, I mean,
sure.
I know we have him labeled as infield, but I don't think, I don't think, teams signing him are looking at first baseman. I think he can play the outfield. And, for me, that makes me think like he would be just such a good fit with the Blue Jays.
Okay.
And they have money, I mean, they missed out on, they were supposed to sign Ohtani and then, got cucked. So why not put that money towards Bellinger,
Yeah.
I mean,
they got a hole at first base too that he could fill because they were plugging it last year with Brandon Belt and like that sort of thing. I mean, Brandon Belt had a pretty good year. Oh shit, yeah. Sorry, I meant like the left side platoon of first base hitting like whatever, not actually play first base. I was thinking about filling the Belt hole.
Right. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. That's an upgrade too. Right. I mean, like,
very much.
Belt's always a discount for teams because he always gives more than he signs for. But damn it, Yuri Perez would have been awesome.
Really? You like him more than like Steele or Bobby Miller?
I like Steele and Bobby Miller. I like Yuri way more.
Interesting. Okay.
I like Musgrove as well.
Do we like the Belly discount here or do we want a pitcher?
Let's do Outman to stack with Ohtani.
Okay.
Just play the outfield. Outman had an awesome rookie season, obviously. 1,200 points with like a major downswing. I mean, dude was up and down like crazy, but a lefty stick in the Dodgers, lineup, he's going to play a lot and probably be somewhere around where, a stack with Ohtani makes sense.
Okay.
That's what
I mean, they're so left-handed heavy. Like, they're so left-handed heavy.
They are, but
I don't think I would have taken Outman. I mean, I don't mind Outman, like just in a vacuum. I think I would have taken one of those two pitchers or Belly if I was just on my lonesome. But
he's better than Hayward.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And it's him, Teoscar, Hayward, Chris Taylor and Manny Margot. Like it's nothing but righties on the bench. Like I think he might play against lefties.
Hopefully. Well, I mean, hopefully he is just their everyday center fielder, period.
Which is very good.
Dream. Yeah, that's the dream. And like he just hits fifth or sixth behind Muncy, Will Smith, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm warming up to Outman, man. I mean, he put on a hell of a rookie campaign, man. The holes to poke in it are, his K rates have always been absurd, but he kept it at 30. Played 150 games last season. They have him, the playing time projections on him, I just think are just way off. Zips is the only one that has it right, in my opinion. Zips has him at 578. Everybody else has him at like 520. If he plays 578, then wheels up, man. Potential 2020 season there. Outman did nothing but hit in the minors too. I just felt kind of stupid for missing on Outman last season and not like thinking like, oh yeah, like a guy that hit the ball hard everywhere he went, can't do it for the Dodgers. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. What are all these names? Copper, we're
There
getting
goes
you into
Langford.
baseball this year, man.
I just missed the he's got the youth movement going on. I don't know if you saw Jorge Soler has been rumored, nothing like super official, but the talks are giants for Jorge Soler, which would be bad, kind of.
Yeah. Be bad in terms of oh shit, we're back on the clock here. We could keep going with Dodgers and take Muncy. We could take Jung with Seager. Or we could take like a.
I think I'd go Muncy just for the stack. You know, I'd really, I'm kind of stack pilled at the moment.
Yep.
You know, if we play out, you know, these Dodger lefties, and these three hit, you're crushing in the playoffs.
Yeah, hitting 3, 5, 6, and Matt Muncy kind of connects them. We're hitting 2, 6, 7. Something
I think
like that.
I think Otani's gonna. I think it'll be 3, 5, 6 with what we have. And maybe even 3, 4, or 5, depending on, you know, if Will Smith is in or out or whatever.
Yep.
What was I gonna say? I was looking. Young. I think Young is kind of. I love Josh Young. Don't get me wrong, but as a stack partner, you know, say what you will. I think, you know, stacking doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, it doesn't have to necessarily be a pure correlation. Like, you can still get correlation boost because an offense is doing well, and that's extra plate appearances. But Young doesn't necessarily like line. I don't think in the order he'll ever be like hitting in Corey Seager, in my opinion. But I could be wrong.
Yeah, it
on what that
depends if
lineup
they
will look like.
Yeah, it depends if they want like Evan Carter to hit fourth or something like that. Losing Garver, like he could hit in that spot. And they did a lot of like Garver in the 5-hole last year as the DH. And then Josh Young was just buried at like 7 or 8. You could see them being like another year of experience. Now he's just like our everyday 5 hitter. Because I think it'll go Simeon, Seager, Adolis, and then it's kind of up for debate. But I think most people will tell you Carter hits fourth.
That's what Fangraphs has.
Yeah, and then who do they have fifth?
Young.
Heim? Oh, they have Heim. Yeah,
they
have
like Heim at 7. So Young, yeah, I think that makes sense. And then Lowe at 6th.
Yeah, I like that a lot more because I don't think you want to hit like Lowe doesn't hit left. He hits lefties okay actually, but I don't think you want to put Carter and Lowe back to back, and then Young in my mind is like one that splits those two up.
until Langford comes on and bursts onto the scene.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, if Langford's better than Young, who knows? Do you like Bassett? Do you like Gray? Do you like Verlander? Or do we take a swing on like? No. Do we take a swing?
I take a lot of Holiday. You could take who you want here.
Take Holiday. All right, let's do it. You just think he breaks camp with the team, the lineup's good, and
they're going for it, man. They're going for it. Yeah. And I mean, every time the Orioles play at home and they're facing a right-handed hitter, like, you want their lefties. And this lineup with Jackson Holiday is pretty insane. I am taking a lot of him.
First couple years of the Dinger, where was like Julio Rodriguez before we knew he was going to break camp with the team?
He was like round like 16.
Yeah.
And then when it found out he was breaking camp, he went all the way up to like round 10. And I remember Sheep like hating it. Like, no, can't do it. You can't take this kid. And then he became like a very crucial piece in that Dinger that season. That was, I think, like the second one, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was. It might have been the first. Because Dinger's 1 year behind BBM.
That first season, it was 18 roster spots. He wasn't there yet, I don't think.
Okay.
Because I remember being like in Dallas, and I was in Kansas City for that Dinger. Where I almost won it all because it was post-COVID, the fake year, where Brian Reynolds had a shit season. So it's 60 games. So he's going super low. So I only did one Dinger that season, and it was a monster team. And then Garrett Cole caught COVID in the playoffs and fucked me. It was a nasty team. But it was like, I was playing for like 10K. I think the total prizes were like 50K. Just cute times.
Yeah, that was before the platform of the people was loaded with people.
Yeah, before, dude, I had no money too, man. I had one dinger. Like
Yeah.
I had nothing.
Oh, that's awesome. What do we got here?
I
Vinny
like the
P
Volpe
goes
pick there.
there. Volpe. Yeah, that lineup's so loaded that it's like, what's Volpe's ceiling in terms of like where he could hit? Do you think he could lead off?
I think he can find his way into like a top-ish part of the order. Just because he does,
Yeah.
he's productive, and he's, I don't know if they care about his stolen bases, but that's good for us that he can steal bases, in that park with that lineup. Volpe is a pretty fun pick. Your boy Jaron Duran just goes, kind of a
Not sure
fun
if he's
pick.
gonna be. Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be my boy this year.
I don't know about his playing time.
Yeah. I think we got to start thinking about pitcher here. We only got 2. We got 5 infield, 4 outfield. You could do the Varsho stack with Springer, and then go the pitcher route. That might be best, actually. JD
Okay.
Martinez. JD Martinez would be like a band-aid filler of that belt role for them as well, but he hits the wrong way, and their team's so right-handed dominant.
Yeah, where the hell is JD gonna go?
I don't know.
Where does he fit? Where does he make sense? Back to the
if
fucking
Seattle,
Dodgers? No,
if
because they
Seattle
already have a
didn't
DH.
if they didn't do the Garver thing, if Seattle didn't do the Garver thing, he fits really nicely there.
Where the hell does
Padres? Padres as the DH?
Just another right-handed stick?
And they just try and like band-aid piece together the production that's been lost from like everyone.
Wow. So right now, people think that Machado's gonna. There's no way Machado's gonna DH. What the hell are they talking about?
No.
What are they talking about, dude? He's still a good. I mean, I know he's. He looks. I know he looks slow, but he's still a fantastic glove, right? Like, did something happen?
He's the 5th best defensive third baseman in baseball.
I thought you were gonna say the best, and I was really gonna flip the fuck out.
Brian Hayes is still better. Arenado's still better. Chapman's still better.
Damn, dude, the Padres just suck.
Who am I missing? I'm missing someone obvious too.
Did you say Chapman?
Yeah.
Key is the best though, and it's to be honest, like not close, but
yeah, he's been really good the last 3 years.
Dude, the fucking Padres are abysmal. They've got Matthew Batten as their third baseman per roster resource. Cal Mitchell, the former Pirate great, is projected to bat 8th for them and play left. Jose Sugar, aka Jose Azocar, is their 9-hole hitter playing center. Dude,
he hasn't been relevant for a long. Oh man,
I feel bad, man, because like,
dude, give me Jake Cronenworth. This is what I'm saying.
I mean, he's got to be out. He's getting traded, man. Where's he going? He's
I don't know.
Where's he going?
Did he only play first? Pitcher. Do we do pitcher here? I think we do pitcher here. And I think I like you, Darvish, the most out of this group.
Okay, I'm kind of on the Javier bounce back, but I could do you.
All right. I'll listen to you. Okay.
Shota projections don't really like Shota right now because he's a fly ball pitcher in Chicago. But I kind of like to ask myself, what would Chip do? And Chip would take Shota.
He would take Shota. That was Chip's whole thesis last year was take the Japanese ghost baller. Every time he was just like, take Senga.
Dude, Senga. I wish the Mets were a little bit better, but Senga could have an unbelievable season. Now, 1 year under his belt, and he was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once he gets the walk rate under control, right?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that was adjusting to the ball too. But
for sure, yeah, it's a different ball.
Here's interesting. Dogman Chill saying he had the best stuff plus metric in the World Baseball Classic over Yamamoto. Shota did. Wow.
I wonder whose stuff plus is that Eno's, I wonder.
Oh yeah, yeah, stuff plus. Yeah,
I mean, there's more. There's more than one, but
we'll just go with Eno.
mhm.
It's badass.
See, like Will
Is
Smith
Alec
in the
Bohm
13th is
actually
just.
elite?
I don't know about that. I like
Yeah.
Alec Bohm though because he keeps it
Nick
real.
Marigold. Nick Mangigal. I don't know about that one.
I think
play it.
Chip's gotta be trolling.
Noah asking what the most amount of players we would take from one team. I usually cap it at 4.
Yeah,
He said he took.
Mm-hmm. 4 is definitely where I draw the line. I'll go over it, but it
There
doesn't
you
feel
go.
good.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Yeah, Dog Rat Chill saying it was Eno.
I always take Eno's stuff plus with a grain of salt. I love Eno,
Mhm.
but I feel like every time I listen to Rates and Barrels, he's tweaking something with stuff plus. Like, dude, stabilize it, make it constant. Like, it's a sliding scale with that. He's always changing something with it.
That's good. That's how you know a model's good. It's not he's constantly developing it.
And also, I don't think that 100 is like the average either. So it's like kind of an interesting thing to keep up with.
Yeah.
Wow, we had a look at that run from McCormick to Martinez. That is nuts. No outfield taken in that, or maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Sorry, from Kelnick. Sorry, but still.
Yeah, Kelnick this way.
Big
Kelnick
time.
to JD Davis, just a full run on pitcher and infielder. Josh Naylor goes there. We gotta start thinking about what we're gonna start doing here. I want to get another Tampa Bay bat in here. Why does nobody draft Jose Siri?
All he does is hit dongs. Pardon my Freudian slip there.
Do we take Walker Buehler and then just hope Isak comes back to us because we only have 3 pitchers?
What's up with Buehler? They don't think he's going to get a full workload. I'd go Isak, man. Yeah. I don't trust these fuckers.
Okay, I think it matters that we get Isak on this team.
It does.
It feels really nice to get like that. Yandy, Isak, Randy.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't trust any Dodgers pitcher to get a full workload. Like, what's a full workload on the Dodgers? It's 155 innings. Yeah, 140. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think
Bobby Miller's probably the
overdrafted.
Who is?
I think Yamamoto's so overdrafted. Like, I think he's talented and whatever. He's their future. Him plus Ohtani is their future of like front end ace of the staff. Future. Like, this is the franchise. These two as our starting pitchers, like they're just not going to push him out the gate.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because he's got the Japanese pitchers do tend to hold up pretty well. But
yeah, and
we know how the Dodgers like to operate.
It's not like he's like super young, right?
I think Yamamoto is
never mind.
Shoto's 30.
Mm-hmm. Shoto's 30. Shoto's the one who's like older.
Mm-hmm. I still think Yamamoto I still think he's way overdrafted though for a pitcher we haven't seen play yet. I do think that is a pretty damn steep price.
He's 25. Okay, so he's not as old as I thought. It's Shota who's the older of the two.
Yeah, that makes sense. He should have been a Pirate. They fucked that up. They almost signed him. That was real.
I believe you.
Ben Cherington just such a moron.
I got
dude, Buehler. This Buehler fall is wild. I get it, and it makes sense. But at what point do you bite the bullet? You know, are we catching the falling knife?
You just auto draft him. Oh no, Tovar goes there. I think we just got to do it because we only have 3 pitchers, and we may as well.
You think we'll take 7?
I'm not gonna take Braxton Garrett over him. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this is a huge discount.
Yeah.
Detmers is an interesting piece there, but I don't really know what to think about him.
Is he their opening day starter?
I believe so. Let me check
I mean,
right now. They've got
Sandoval maybe.
yeah, Sandoval is nice. So roster resource has it as Detmers, Canning, Sandoval,
Yeah, that checks out.
and then Anderson and Chase Silseth. Which don't sleep on Silseth.
I think I will. Tell me something nice about him.
That's a mistake. I mean, he was in the bullpen for a little while, and then he's been starting since 22. Finished with an ERA under 4. Not a bad xFIP. 1K per 9. Or 9, 1K per inning, 9K9. He's fine. He's someone that I'm not gonna stack against in dailies. One of those guys. Yeah, I'm not gonna get over my skis in best ball, but once daily season comes around and everybody's stacking against Chase Silseth because they don't know who he is, like I won't be.
All right. I remember playing him a couple times last year.
Yeah, let's see what let's check out his game log. See what his like best
game
log. Oh, dude, he torched the Mariners. Torched them.
I remember that game.
August 6th. 7 innings, 12 Ks.
This is kind of where my mind's at with Easy here. Like he could be the third best pitcher, but like they're just so playoff focused and like they're playing World Series or bust, right?
Yeah, they're gonna get there. Not to the World Series. That's never a guarantee, but yeah, they're oddly built. This is the point in the draft where I start to not like it. Like Mackenzie Gore is like the last pitcher that like I really like at this range. I've been a Bayo guy, but like Brian Bayo doesn't strike anybody out.
That's fair. Should we go back to the Wallner well? Brian De La Cruz. We could do.
I'm kind of out on De La Cruz. I do like Henry Davis, obviously. Someone was throwing cold water on Matt Wallner. I don't know, man.
Okay.
He kind of reminds me of like outfield Pete Alonso, where Pete Alonso kind of came on late, but has like just a ton of power.
I think we just take Gurriel because I do think he's like better than the rest of this tier, and I do think we just want like a stable outfielder, and then we can piece together a rotation after this.
Does that say 155?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Take him. That's a stupid discount. Holy shit. I mean, I know we kind of flip-flopped him and Paredes, but there goes Key. That sucks. Dude, Hayes is going to shock the world. I don't know what to tell y'all.
He loves to hit the ball so fucking hard into the ground.
He figured out how to pull fly balls, buddy. You didn't hear?
He's this year's ESOC?
He's been pulling. Like after he came back from his injury late last season, he started pulling way more fly balls, way more. Let me give you a little arbitrary endpoint on Key as he finished the season there, but I just wanted to say there has been some Wallner FUD in the Discord, but I'm not buying it. I think Wallner is still a great click, a left-handed power hitter for the Twins. Like, who's taking his spot in the lineup? If he's putting up numbers, like how is he losing playing time?
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's start just clicking some fun names that nobody else clicks now. Like these last 5 picks. I think we need one more infielder. And then we just need pitchers to finish it. Right? This is going to be 776.
Yeah, I believe so.
Kirby Grayson, Javier Bueller. And then our infield's really strong with maybe not. Seager, Goldschmidt, Yandy, Muncy, Holiday, Paredes. And then Otani and Rosarena, George Springer, Outman, Varsho. Gurriel. Dude, let's stack this shit up. Let's take Justin Turner. Nobody takes Justin Turner. T-Bear just said it in the chat.
Over Gorman? Gorman stacks with these Cardinals that we have.
That's true. We only got one Cardinal, but he stacks.
Oh, sorry. I thought we had
We never took Arenado.
All
right,
Gorman.
Fine, let's get Gorman.
Gorman's projections, man. Like I was like way out on Gorman. He's being like underdrafted right now. He projects for 511 plate appearances, 28 home runs, slugging for 467. Like, you know, that's just a really nice late pick.
All right. And he's young too. Like he's like 23, still got like potential to break a ceiling. I gotta get more heavy into my baseball research here.
It's just nice because like I can just type in a player name or look at a team on Fangraphs, you know, in the middle of the show and sound like I just know this off the top of my head. Like I'm not just peeking over. I mean, Easy's trying to throw not throw cold water, but I mean just being smart about the moves that the Twins have made. And yeah, they have signed Santana, but like Wallner only DH'd 9 times last season. You know, the glove isn't what he's known for, you know, and you'd like to hide that if possible. But he's a lefty, and like Santana is like more like if you're going to platoon Santana is going to hit right-handed more often, which I think, you know, dude knows.
He's better right-handed. I mean, like
Santana's
right-handed.
Santana hits better against lefties, yeah. So that's like fine. Dude, I just really struggle to see a world like, dude, Wallner's a better hitter than
38-year-old Carlos Santana.
Yeah. I guess he mentioned Nick Gordon, lefty hitter, but he's 20. Dude, Nick Gordon's 28. He's not playing. Kepler is interesting. I haven't taken any. I never take Max Kepler. Where did he go here?
Probably not yet.
He didn't go yet?
No, he usually goes like in this range beside Wallner because people do like a cheeky twin stack in this range here. Oh no, he already went 199.
Okay.
People do it like a cheeky little like Julian, Kepler, Wallner all in this range. Really Castro's there too. Oh, we got to take a picture here.
We do. I am okay with Stroman. I like Taj Bradley. I think you do as well.
We can get him back though. We need stable innings, and Stroman represents that.
Dude, I am really surprised Max Kepler goes where he goes.
People have been trying to buy Max Kepler for 5 years.
He was finally healthy last season. Or he was pretty healthy the last like few seasons. I don't know why I just think of him as injury prone, but like he broke out. Like he finally broke out, but it was age 30. So there's that. But 24 homers last season. I think I can see myself
try and buy.
What went right for him? Well, his BABIP was like a little high. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm sleeping on Max Kepler. For best ball? I don't know, man. Where did he go here? He went one hole to Craven Moorhead. Aren't we all?
I hope he I hope he wins the digger.
That would be awesome. He's talking about Hudson Head, actually, the prospect for the Pirates.
There you go. Spin zone. Okay, I think we're done here, and it's just 2 pitchers to close, right?
Yeah, like let's take a look at our staff again. Pitching.
Kirby, Grayson, Javier, Bueller, Stroman.
Yeah.
I think we need 2 there.
Yeah, pitching don't matter, but we need more of it.
I don't love this team. I mean, this team's kind of like fine on paper. I just like scrolling more. Like scrolling to like some unique, crazy pieces.
I like Sears, obviously.
Yeah, Alek Manoah bounce back. Any love there?
He scares the shit out of me, but like it's low risk.
Kramer, Edward Cabrera, Sears. Sears.
Yeah, I like Sears.
Okay. I mean, like at this point, we're looking for innings, and if you're gonna give me like left-handed innings in a good park, who like that,
Yeah,
like
this is not an upside pick, I feel like, that we're looking for. Unless you do want to shoot the moon, which, like, you know, you could.
Yeah, but I think Sears also has like untapped ceiling too.
Oh, I
Like, I don't
agree,
think
man.
he's that guy, but like
He had great
there's
minor
room
league
for
numbers.
yeah, there's room for the strikeout rate to grow, and there's room for wins to grow if he gets traded, because he could be like one of their most movable pieces this year. Him
Yeah.
and Paul Blackburn.
Yeah, 172 innings last season.
Yeah.
You're not going to get many wins with that team, but there's so many relievers in the ADP, which is just like so funny. Why does David Bednar have an ADP? Why does Clay Holmes have an ADP? The edge is real.
Just like uploading other ranks and then slamming them in here. And Brady Singer had some nice starts last year.
You know, we're the head of the Brady Singer commission.
Yeah. I mean, like he was really good from like the midpoint onward. Luis Medina had some good starts last year.
Oh, buddy. Don't get me started on Luis Medina. Sometimes when I'm bored, I'll go to Baseball Savant and just look at random Luis Medina strikeout. You know, you can like randomize and show me a random a random clip of X player. Just look at some Luis Medina clips and like, please somebody else like fall in love with Luis Medina with me. Like, I know I just like cling to just like bad teams and bad players, but I promise Luis Medina has it. I'm excited for him to break out and me have like none of him, but he's awesome.
We're really scrolling, but like, man, you can find innings for days. Like, what's up with Alex Cobb? Like, Alex Cobb, we were playing all the time last year.
Dude, I don't even know. Is he a Giant still? Yeah.
I don't. Maybe not.
Yeah.
He might be mislabeled.
Fangraphs has him as a Giant. They've got him as their SP nothing. Is he hurt? Hip surgery. He's old.
Okay.
He got hip surgery in October.
Okay.
But they are stretching out.
Jordan Hicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one. Why not?
That's not going to work. That's not going to work.
Throws hard as fuck.
You're right. I'd take Singer over Hicks.
Yeah. John Means, like, I don't know. That rotation's getting thinner. Clark Schmidt, no thanks. Frankie Montas, tough park, hasn't pitched in a while. Jack Flaherty, man, looked kind of nice last year.
Yeah, and then it's a park upgrade.
Yeah, good park upgrade. Wins and quality, sir.
What's up with Ricky Tiedemann?
Nobody's ever asked. I'm not sure.
Oh, dude, you should know. I forgot you're not a Blue Jays guy. He had surgery.
Okay. Ranger Suarez or Brady Singer?
Singer. Okay. Hell yeah. Let's go.
See, I like scrolling at outfield. I don't like scrolling at pitcher as much. Okay, let's see. I'm really curious how Easy's team turned out here, because he did something crazy.
Holy shit!
4 infield, like he's flipped the meta on its head, and that's why I was super curious. He did 4 infield just to start. Heavy Atlanta stack with 2 out of 3 of them being that. Then tacks on Ozuna, and I thought he did. No, he didn't. Okay, so he does a 4-6, and then just fires pitchers. Wild, man.
I love the hyper fragile infield approach. That is awesome.
I mean, it's flipping the entire what we think we know on its head, right? And you and I have had the conversation at length so many times that like what we think we know might not actually be what we know, or what we think we know might not actually be correct at this point in time with any of these games, because they're all so small sample size. So like him flipping the meta like this is crazy.
I love it, man. I did some 8-4-8 teams last year, I think, or in some past life, and it actually turned out pretty damn good. Like if you need your guys to stay healthy, but if you can do that, and I don't think you can really do like 8-8-4 necessarily, or I wouldn't want to do 8-8-4 or anything like that.
Yeah.
I like it, man. I agree. Like he brings up a good point in the chat. Part of why he's doing it is that like the 12 hole. How do you win in the 12 hole? Like you want to just take another, you want to take another outfielder that is like so clearly like not in the same tier as everybody else, while everybody else gets better infielders than you. Like now you're behind an infield. You're passing up on aces. So like you're just going to be behind literally everywhere. You're behind the 8-ball everywhere if you go outfield at the 12 hole. So you might as well try to like bully everybody in raw points.
Interesting.
And attack outfield at volume. Because we do this every year.
The other way could be Strider Cole.
I actually don't think Strider Cole is bad either. I know that I saw some Roger Goodell laugh emojis. Somebody started out pitcher at 12. I don't think it's bad. Especially Strider Cole.
Yeah.
But
very interesting. Yeah. Well, if you did Strider Cole, is it a 5-pitcher build?
Doesn't have to be, but
I don't think it has to
be
be
more likely than not, maybe.
Yeah. Wholesome Scum saying from the 12 you just go Harper Schwarber.
That's my nickname.
Oh man. I kind of like the Schwarber Harper call too.
Yeah. I just have such a negative affinity for the Phillies, and it's not even like a Pennsylvania bias thing. I don't know why, man. They're
very
fine.
Interesting. Yeah, yeah. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking through it. Well, what if you flip the build and you just go Trout? Because like you could maybe not
Easy has enough Trout, but I like it. I like it. Like, what if Trout plays 140 games this season?
Right, and then now all of a sudden you're getting a value and you whatever. So you could do like Trout and Freeman, and then you're not behind at all because if Trout plays 140 games, there's no reason he can't outscore Carroll, Julio, etc. tier.
I mean, if he plays 140, he's probably like pick 7, pick 8.
Right. So maybe like you don't have to get as crazy with the meta from 12 if you just take Trout. Because like who else has that ceiling in the second round with outfield eligibility? No one, right?
Yeah, he doesn't need a good lineup to hit 40 home runs.
Right. And like it's not that bad because, and people will laugh at me because I like Anthony Rendon and shit like this. Like it's not that bad with like Brandon Drury hitting behind you or I don't know. Yeah. Interesting.
These baseball dinger drafts are so fun, man. I love this. I can't wait to do baseball dailies and get baseball season underway, man. It's going to be a blast. I'm really excited to see what our prize pools will look like for baseball with just this new liquidity on the site. And golf has been taken off too, but it's easier to draft. Like I think opening day, I think Neumy will start with like, what do you think? What do you think for an opening day contest? I think you can do 50 for an opening day. I don't know if you can even hear me right now.
I lost you for half a second there, and then I was about to plug these in, and then I heard 250. Is that what you said?
50K for opening day because you get a couple days to draft it.
Yeah. Hopefully, man. Yeah, the dailies could grow in a big way this year, especially when as you alluded to, you get just so many people on the platform, so much liquidity, and people want to still play daily games through the summer, right?
You would think, like you create a habit of getting on the app every single day and drafting something every single day and having money on the line every single day. Like we got you. Now play baseball. We'll help you as much as we can. Just keep feeding the beast, man. Rake back, don't stop.
It's true, man. And like, what keeps the bankroll alive for drafting football through the summer? Well, keep drafting golf, keep drafting MLB, right?
And I keep stressing to people, if you want to be lazy about it, like literally look at the worst team on the slate, onslaught them like 5 times, and if you do that every single slate throughout the season, like the amount of times you do it, dude, fucking Few does it every day. Does it every day.
It's true, man. It's true.
And he prints.
Yeah. All right, let's tie a bow on it, Nez. We got some. We got to get some exercise in here, and we got to draft some NBA here. Yeah, Mike. There's no stopping us, bro. There's no stop. The boys. We did a full MLB draft after that. We're still going strong out here. No one works harder, Nez.
Nope, not harder than us. No chance. Let's yeah, I'm excited for baseball, man. Let's hope we can get some fun opportunities pumping during the summer. We can maybe we can have some fun.
There you go. There's your calling card right there. Cleaning up with Oakland staff.
You just have to call the night slate for baseball. It has to be just the dad. You know, it can't be it can't not be dunking after dark. Like, it's just the dad. Like, you know.
Yeah. It could be dinger after dark.
There you go.
Like, you know, just pivot that.
I like it.
All right, let's tie a bow on it. Please and thank you. Hit that subscribe, that notification, all that fun stuff, so we can keep coming back. Speaking of coming back, we will be back tomorrow doing something NBA related. Most likely, Nez.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I will be here, and then I'm doing well, it's not a live stream, but doing a show with. People need to shut up outside. What the fuck's going on? Doing a show with Dark Sheep for stacking dingers, and we have a very, very fun guest for that one. I don't want to spoil it, but that episode will be out, I believe, Wednesday. So be on the lookout for that. Sub to Stacking Dingers if you haven't. Little side project that we're involved with for the baseball best ball streets. That's my spiel. I gotta go take my dog out and hit the gym and fire 120 NBA drafts.
Love it. Likewise. Yeah, same schedule here. Yo, parting words. Noah's asking who your favorite dinger target late is.
Grayson Rodriguez. Oh, late.
Oh, just in general. Okay, Grayson Rodriguez in general. Sure.
Yep. Like Grayson, Hayes, Henry Davis.
Grayson, Hayes, Henry Davis.
Ke'Bryan.
I'll say,
Hayes.
Yeah, Ke'Bryan Hayes. I'll say Yandy Diaz is one of them for me right now. Darvish, I think, is mispriced right now. I really like him, even though he's old. I'm trying to think of an outfielder that I really like too.
Zoops is.
I've been taking
Clippers, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, that was baked into the thesis of Russell Westbrook, dog. And then Mitch Haniger late there. Luke Raley, actually, one of those two is a late outfield that has some pop.
Anybody that isn't dusty as hell?
Nope, just those dusty ones for now. Actually, I really like Ryan Mountcastle too.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, I think he's mispriced. Okay, anyways, back tomorrow. That stuff, all NBA and baseball tomorrow coming from Nez. Then Wednesday, off and on the clock with Pete, we will do the big game preview, all that sort of stuff. We'll do some pick'ementary stuff for that. And then Thursday, we'll figure out. How about that? All right.
Love it.
Appreciate everybody. Appreciate everybody hanging out this long with us. Good luck in the streets tonight. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace.